Okay, so you want to own a golf course. You buy a beautiful stretch of land, cut 18 holes through it, charge people every time they play, and collect membership dues from customers who keep coming back. The grass grows, the sun shines, the tee sheet fills. It looks like a country club wrapped around a recurring revenue machine. That is the dream. The problem is that a golf course is one of the few businesses where your inventory disappears every 10 minutes. Your factory is alive. Your largest expense keeps growing while you sleep. And a week of rain can erase revenue without meaningfully reducing cost. You are not simply buying fairways and flags. You are buying land, water access, weather exposure, a hospitality operation, a maintenance company, a scheduling system, a local membership network, and a long list of promises about how perfect the grass will look tomorrow morning. And if the course is attached to housing a resort or a private club, you may be buying something even stranger. The golf operation may not be the main business at all. The course may exist to sell homes, raise hotel rates, create membership dues, protect surrounding property values, or make an otherwise ordinary piece of land feel scarce. That is the first reframe. A golf course is not just a place where people play golf. It is a perishable time slot business built on expensive land and maintained like a living piece of infrastructure. Every day gives you a limited number of tee times. A tee time at 8:10 this morning cannot be stored and sold next Tuesday. If nobody buys it, it expires. But the crew still mowed the greens. The irrigation system still ran. The insurance policy still existed. The equipment loan still had a payment due. And the lender does not care that it rained. So before you imagine the clubhouse, the members, or the tournament trophies, you have to decide what kind of golf course you are trying to own. A public daily fee course sells individual rounds. A municipal course may be owned by a city and operated directly, leased to a private company, or managed under contract. A private club sells access, belonging, and predictable dues. A resort course helps sell hotel rooms, packages, restaurants, conferences, and destination travel. A residential course supports home values and lot sales. A high-end destination course may charge premium green fees because golfers are traveling for the architecture, location, and reputation. These models can share the same number of holes and still have completely different economics. The visible product is golf. The economic product might be access, community tourism, real estate, or status. Choose the wrong model for the market, and even a beautiful course can become an expensive field that nobody can afford to maintain. Now, start with the land. The American Society of Golf Course Architects says a full-size 18-hole course may require roughly 120 to 200 usable acres, while a regulation course with a practice facility, clubhouse area, and supporting space can require even more. And usable is the important word. Wetlands may be protected. Steep slopes may be difficult to build. Flood zones may restrict development. Poor soil may require major drainage work. The best-looking land may have the worst water problem. The cheapest land may be too far from the customers who are supposed to fill the tee sheet. This creates the first ownership contradiction. Golf needs space, but valuable urban land is expensive. Remote land is cheaper, but remote land may not have enough players. So the course owner is constantly trading land cost against customer access. If you are building from scratch, money alone does not give you permission. You may need zoning approval, environmental review, stormwater plans, road access, utility connections, construction permits, water rights, irrigation approvals, clubhouse permits, food service licenses, alcohol licenses, pesticide compliance, and political support from neighbors who may like green space but dislike traffic lights, chemicals, or development. The Environmental Protection Agency has specifically highlighted stormwater control, sustainable pest management, and protection of water quality as major operating concerns for golf facilities. And local rules can be more restrictive than federal rules. A golf course can be approved as recreation, rejected as development, or welcomed only if the owner agrees to preserve open space, provide public access, improve drainage, or fund surrounding infrastructure. This is where the ownership fantasy becomes a permit process. Then comes construction. There is no single price for building a golf course because land, earthwork, irrigation, drainage, grass selection, architecture, climate, and clubhouse ambition can change the number dramatically. A practical course on favorable land can cost far less than a championship resort built through rock desert wetlands or luxury real estate. But recent renovation economics give you a sense of the scale. The United States Golf Association reported in 2024 that large renovation projects that once cost several $1 million we're increasingly reaching the $10 million to $20 million range. A new irrigation system alone can begin around $2.5 to $3 million in many markets and exceed $4 million on parts of the West Coast. A broad renovation involving irrigation, greens, bunkers, paths, and major regrassing can reach roughly $8 million to $16 million. And that is renovation, not land acquisition, not a new clubhouse, not the interest accumulating during construction, not the operating losses while the course is still growing in. You can spend millions before the first golfer pays you $1. Even buying an existing course does not eliminate the entry cost. You need to inspect the irrigation pipes underground the pump station, drainage, greens, bunkers, cart paths, maintenance buildings, equipment, fleet, clubhouse, roof, kitchen, parking lot, trees, bridges, and water contracts. A course can look green during the inspection and still be carrying a hidden capital bill. The seller may have delayed bunker work for years. The pumps may be near the end of their useful life. The greens may have soil problems that cannot be fixed with another season of fertilizer. The maintenance fleet may be old enough that your first year as owner becomes a shopping list of mowers, utility vehicles, sprayers, and replacement parts. The purchase price is only the first number. The true entry price is purchase price plus deferred maintenance plus working capital plus the cost of surviving until the operation stabilizes. Drive Shack, the company now known as Golf Entertainment Group, showed how differently owned courses can be valued when it sold 11 American golf properties in 2018 for about $82.5 million. That was a portfolio transaction, not a universal price guide. Some courses were private clubs. Some sat in stronger real estate markets. Some had different membership bases, land values, and capital needs. But the sale reveals something important. A golf course does not have one value. It has an operating value based on cash flow, a land value based on location and permitted use, and sometimes a strategic value to a resort developer, municipality, or neighboring community. Those values can point in different directions. A weak golf business may sit on extremely valuable land. A strong golf business may sit on land that cannot easily be used for anything else. A residential developer may pay for the effect of the course on home prices. A city may accept a lower financial return because the course provides recreation, drainage, habitat, tourism, or open space. A private club may spend far more than a commercial operator because the members are buying quality, not maximizing profit. So what does the business actually sell? The first revenue stream is the round itself. Public courses sell tee times. The price may change by day, hour, season, demand, weather, residency, walking versus riding, and how early the golfer books. Weekend mornings are premium inventory. Late afternoons are discounted inventory. A perfect Saturday at 8 o'clock can sell at full price. A hot Tuesday at 2:40 may need a promotion. This is yield management similar to airlines and hotels, except your capacity is a sequence of groups moving across 18 holes. Price too low, and the best times sell out without generating enough money. Price too high, and golfers choose another course. The second stream is the cart. A cart fee looks simple, but the cart fleet has to be purchased or leased, charged, cleaned, repaired, stored, insured, and replaced. In some markets, carts are optional. In others, they are essential because of heat hills routing or customer expectations. The cart can produce attractive incremental revenue once the fleet exists, but only if utilization is high enough to cover the equipment cost. The third stream is membership. A public course may sell annual passes, loyalty plans, practice memberships, or prepaid packages. A private club may charge initiation fees and monthly dues. This is powerful because dues arrive even when the member does not play. But membership creates obligations. Members expect access. They expect course conditions. They expect events. They may resist price increases and demand capital improvements. The recurring revenue is real. So is the recurring promise. The fourth stream is the practice facility. Range balls, lessons, club fitting clinics, junior programs, simulators, and short game areas can create revenue from people who never buy an 18-hole round that day. A good range also extends the customer relationship. A golfer may spend 1 hour practicing before work, buy a drink, take a lesson, and return for a weekend round. The fifth stream is food and beverage. The restaurant can serve golfers, weddings, corporate events, community meetings, and private parties. But a restaurant is not automatically profitable because it sits beside a beautiful 18th green. It has its own labor inventory, spoilage, kitchen equipment, licensing, and service challenges. A weak restaurant can consume golf profit. A well-run events business can help the property earn money when the course is quiet. The sixth stream is retail. Balls, gloves, apparel rental, clubs, branded merchandise, and equipment can increase spending per visitor. The margins vary. Inventory can become obsolete, and the pro shop has to compete with online retailers and major sporting goods chains. The seventh stream is tournaments and outings. A corporate outing can fill a large block of tee times, sell food carts, sponsorship packages, and event services in one transaction. It can be valuable on a weekday that would otherwise be slow. But large groups can disrupt regular customers, demand discounts, and create extra labor. The eighth stream may not appear on the golf income statement at all. Real estate, hotel rooms, homeowner dues, resort packages, ground leases, cell towers, solar installations, water storage, advertising. The course can make the surrounding property more valuable, even if the golf operation itself earns a modest return. This is why some owners tolerate weak course-level profit. They are not measuring the course as a standalone business. They are measuring what the course does to the rest of the property. Now look at the other side of the ledger. In 2024, the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America reported that the average maintenance budget across participating U.S. courses had risen to about $1.07 million, up more than 50% from 2013. That figure excluded capital improvements. The average also hides an enormous range. Some courses spend less than $400,000 maintaining 18 holes. Others spend more than $1.5 million. High-end private clubs can spend above $2 million before major capital projects. Labor is usually the largest maintenance cost. The crew mows greens, tees, fairways, rough, and practice areas. It changes cups, repairs bunkers, manages trees, applies nutrients and plant protection products, repairs irrigation, maintains equipment, handles drainage, responds to storms, and completes much of this work before the first tee time. You need enough people to prepare a course measured in acres, while customers expect detail measured in millimeters. Water is another major variable. In a wet region, rainfall may reduce irrigation demand, but create disease flooding and lost playing days. In a dry region, sunshine may protect revenue, while water costs and restrictions pressure the budget. USGA reporting showed that the average maintenance budget in the American Southwest was around $1.5 million in 2023, with average water spending around $266,000. That does not mean every desert course pays the same. Some have favorable long-term water rights. Some use reclaimed water. Some face escalating municipal rates. Some own wells. Some depend on contracts that can become more expensive precisely when drought makes water more valuable. Then you have equipment. A golf course is a fleet business disguised as landscaping. Mowers, rollers, tractors, sprayers, utility vehicles, aerators, bunker machines, blowers, pumps, and carts all require capital. They wear out. They break on weekends. Specialized parts may be expensive, and a cheap repair strategy can create a more expensive failure during peak season. You also pay for clubhouse staff, golf professionals, starters, marshals, food service workers, cleaners, accountants, marketers, technology, booking systems, utilities, property taxes, insurance, security, licenses, merchant fees, waste removal, and general management. If you lease the land or the course, add rent. If you borrowed to buy or renovate it, add interest and principal. If you promised members a premium experience, add the cost of meeting that expectation every day. This is the central trap. Revenue is perishable and variable. A large portion of cost is continuous. When demand is strong, the economics can improve quickly. The greens are already mowed. The clubhouse is already open. The irrigation system already exists. Selling another tee time, another cart, another lunch, or another range basket can contribute meaningful cash because many fixed costs have already been paid. This is operating leverage, but it works in both directions. When rounds fall, maintenance does not fall at the same speed. You cannot stop mowing half the greens because bookings are down 15%. You cannot turn off drainage because Tuesday was slow. You cannot postpone every repair because the weather forecast changed. The course must remain playable so customers will return, which means you spend money today to protect revenue that may or may not arrive tomorrow. Now imagine you are buying a mid-market public course. The figures are illustrative, not the reported results of a specific property. The course records 40,000 rounds in a normal year. After discounts, memberships, twilight rates, and promotions, the average golf revenue works out to $48 per round. That produces about $1.92 million. Cart rentals contribute $430,000. Annual passes, leagues, and membership products add $400,000. The range lessons and pro shop contribute $300,000. Food, beverage, and events contribute $550,000. Total revenue is about $3.6 million. That sounds healthy. Now subtract the machine. Course maintenance costs $1.05 million. Clubhouse golf and food service payroll costs $800,000. Food and merchandise cost $250,000. Utilities insurance, property taxes, administration software, and marketing cost $420,000. Equipment leases, repairs, and small capital replacements cost $230,000. Ground rent or other property obligations cost $150,000. You are left with roughly $700,000 before financing, taxes, and major capital spending. In business language, that is similar to property-level EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It is a useful view of operating performance, but it is not cash you are free to keep. Suppose the acquisition and renovation were financed with $5 million of debt. Depending on the rate and loan structure, annual debt service might be around $470,000. Now your $700,000 has fallen to about $230,000. Then you reserve $250,000 for future irrigation equipment, paths, roofs, drainage, and clubhouse work. Your apparently profitable course has produced almost no free cash for the owner. And this was the normal year. Now change one variable. The region experiences an unusually wet spring, followed by extreme summer heat. Rounds fall 18%. Discounting increases because you are trying to refill the tee sheet. Food and beverage falls with traffic. Events cancel. Total revenue declines by roughly $650,000. Can you remove $650,000 of cost? Number: you reduce seasonal hours. You delay some hiring. You cut merchandise orders. You save on food inventory. You defer a non-essential project. Perhaps total operating costs fall by $200,000. The remaining $450,000 hits the bottom line. Debt service does not move. The equipment still ages. The irrigation reserve still matters. The course that nearly broke even in the normal year now has a serious cash deficit. This is why a full tee sheet can create confidence, and one bad season can create a liquidity problem. The owner does not fail because nobody played golf. The owner fails because volume moved modestly while the cost base remained stubborn. The danger becomes greater when debt was sized to the best year. A lender may look at historical earnings, land value, and collateral, but the loan still has to be repaid from cash flow. If you borrow based on a temporary participation boom, unusually low interest rates, or aggressive real estate assumptions, the course may be forced to perform perfectly. Perfect weather. Perfect pricing, perfect membership retention, perfect maintenance. That is not a business plan. That is a collection of assumptions. Compass Pointe in Leland, North Carolina shows how the assumptions can break. In 2006, developers acquired a 2,300-acre site and planned a large residential community centered on a 27-hole golf course. The visible asset was golf. The financial engine was real estate sales. Then, the Great Recession arrived. Home demand weakened. Cash from lot sales slowed. The course was put on hold. According to a financial case study published by the American Society of Golf Course Architects Foundation, the project carried a high debt load, and the original developers were eventually forced to sell their position back to the original landowner. Nothing was wrong with the idea of a golf course as an amenity. The failure came from timing leverage and dependence on one cash flow source. The course needed real estate sales. The real estate needed buyer confidence. Buyer confidence depended partly on the promised amenities being completed. When sales slowed, construction slowed. When construction slowed, the promise became less credible. That is a feedback loop. The second ownership reframe is now visible. Sometimes you are not financing a golf course with golf revenue. You are financing it with a story about future land value. And when the story loses credibility, the grass cannot make the debt payment. Compass Pointe did eventually move forward under a different approach. Developer Bobby Harrelson returned and worked with the golf architects to restart construction only as cash flow allowed. They used the local shaper, bought materials directly, and used on-site sand to control costs. The course was not built according to the most aggressive schedule. It was built according to available cash. The case study reported that lot sales increased from 56 in 2012 to 147 in 2013, the year course shaping restarted. The average lot price rose from $90,000 to $125,000. Annual lot revenue increased from about $5.04 million to about $18.38 million. That does not prove the golf course alone caused every sale. The returning developer, broader market recovery, community design, and restored buyer confidence all mattered, but it demonstrates the strategic role of the course. The golf asset helped make the development promise tangible. A liability became a sales engine when construction pace financing and market demand were aligned. Now compare that with a course designed to operate as a public recreation business rather than a luxury real estate centerpiece. San Pedro Par 3 in San Antonio occupied about 45 acres and had aging facilities, an old irrigation system, and a course that had changed little for decades. The city did not try to transform it into an expensive championship property. It rebuilt the product around the customers it could actually serve. The renovated facility included a lighted par 3 course, a driving range, forward and flexible tees, beginner-friendly play, teaching programs, and evening use. The result was not simply better grass. It was more usable inventory. Lighting extended the selling day. The short format reduced the time commitment. The range served customers who were not ready for a full round. Families, juniors, schools, and new golfers became part of the market. The ASGCA Foundation reported that San Pedro became the #1 revenue producer in San Antonio's 8-course system from its first month after opening, and remained in that position a year and a half later. The success did not come from making the course larger. It came from matching the asset to the customer. That is a lesson many owners miss. Golfers do not all want the same product. Some want championship architecture. Some want an affordable 2-hour experience. Some want practice. Some want social events. Some want a private community. Some want a destination vacation. Building for prestige when the market wants convenience can destroy returns. Building a flexible, right-sized facility can improve both access and economics. Scale can also change the business. In 2025, Golf Entertainment Group reported that its American Golf division oversaw 43 golf courses and country clubs, served more than 32,000 members, and hosted more than 3.6 million rounds. The company's traditional golf revenue reached $258.1 million, up 2.5% from 2024. Portfolio scale does not eliminate weather, labor, water, or capital risk. The parent company still reported an overall net loss in 2025 because it also operated entertainment concepts and carried corporate costs. But scale can provide purchasing power, shared technology, centralized marketing, experienced management, systems management, contracts, and geographic diversification. A single course can lose a season to local weather. A portfolio may have strong results in another region. A single owner may struggle to recruit a superintendent. A national operator can build a wider management pipeline. A standalone property has one clubhouse, one irrigation system, and one customer market. A management company can spread expertise across many. There is also bargaining power. Your customers can compare nearby tee times instantly. Your members can organize against a dues increase. Your water supplier may raise rates. Your landlord may require capital improvements. Your lender may tighten terms when earnings fall. Your food suppliers can pass through inflation. Your insurance carrier can reprice storm, wildfire, flood, or liability risk. And local government can alter the economic value of the land through zoning, environmental restrictions, public access requirements, or redevelopment policy. Owning the grass does not mean controlling the system around it. The future of golf course economics will be shaped by two forces that appear to conflict. Demand is strong. The USGA reported that total U.S. rounds exceeded 500 million in 2024 for a 5th consecutive year, while the National Golf Foundation has said the industry reached record play again in 2025, even though the country has roughly 2,000 fewer facilities than 2 decades earlier. That improves utilization. More rounds spread fixed costs across more customers. But maintenance, labor, water insurance, and renovation costs are also rising. The average maintenance budget increased by more than half between 2013 and 2024. So participation growth does not automatically create profit. The owner still has to convert demand into price spending and repeat business faster than costs rise. The second future force is flexibility. 9-hole participation is growing. The USGA reported nearly 15 million 9-hole scores posted in 2025, up more than 46% from 2020. That matters because time is one of golf's largest barriers. Courses that can sell 9-hole rounds, twilight play, short courses, practice memberships, family programs, simulators, and events can monetize customers who do not want a traditional 4-hour round. The course of the future may not earn more by making every hole harder, longer, and more expensive to maintain. It may earn more by making the property usable by more people for more hours. Water efficiency will also become financial strategy, not just environmental messaging. Owners will reduce maintained turf where it adds little to play. They will use drought-tolerant grasses, better soil data moisture sensors, targeted irrigation, recycled water, improved drainage, and redesigned bunkers. A lower maintenance acre can create savings every year. A resilient irrigation system can protect both playing conditions and revenue. Climate risk works in several directions. Heat can reduce afternoon demand and stress turf. Heavy rain can close the course. Drought can raise water cost. Winter injury can damage grass before the peak season begins. Wildfire can affect air quality and insurance. A course designed for the climate of 20 years ago may require different grass drainage, shade water storage, and scheduling today. Technology will help with pricing and labor, but it will not remove the physical nature of the asset. Booking systems can adjust prices. Sensors can improve irrigation. Robotic mowers may reduce some repetitive labor. Customer data can improve marketing. Simulators can create indoor revenue. But no software update can replace a failed pump station overnight. The physical course remains the promise. That brings you back to the first question. What are you really buying when you own a golf course? You are buying a limited number of time slots attached to a large piece of land. You are buying a living surface that must be rebuilt every morning. You are buying exposure to weather, water, labor, local demographics, customer habits, and financing. You are buying a business where the best revenue may come from carts, dues, events, homes, hotel rooms, or land, rather than the round itself. And you are buying a reputation that can take years to build and one season to damage. None of this means a golf course is automatically a good or bad investment. The economics change with location, debt, land value, water access, course design, customer mix, regulation, and timing. This is an explanation of the machine, not personalized financial, legal, accounting, or investment advice, and the figures can change as costs, market conditions, and operating reports change. The strongest owner is not necessarily the person who builds the most beautiful course. It is the person who understands which business the course is supposed to support. A public course needs accessible demand and efficient operations. A private club needs stable membership and a clear value proposition. A resort needs destination power and hospitality spending. A residential course needs disciplined development financing. A standalone daily fee course needs enough rounds, enough pricing power, and enough non-golf revenue to survive the bad season that will eventually arrive. You thought you were buying 18 holes of grass. What you were really buying was a perishable scheduling business, a maintenance operation, a land strategy, and a promise that tomorrow morning, the entire system will still look effortless. That is the economics of owning a golf course.